Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of 33 as Kingdom of Heaven. In previous episode we managed to do a bit of a war against Sokoto and we conquered 3 states from them. We formed our Papal Niger now, so that will take care of the governance in here. It might not be all that great, but that will actually improve the literary rate a tiny bit. And I suppose the GDP did go down a little bit, but it's not too bad. The average standard of living is now 16, so that is an improvement. Population is back to about 40 million. So we did go over to 46 for a brief moment there, but it's alright. We do remove a lot of radicals by giving the colony, well, not really an independence, but, you know, getting that out of our hair. That does mean that all of our armies now are in Italy. But I suppose, yeah, we don't control directly anything outside of the Mediterranean at this point. Which honestly is not a bad thing. We might potentially try to annex or reduce autonomy in Oyo. I don't know if they would take it, but I suppose there's a good chance that they will. Oh, they will accept, okay. What about Benin? Can we do that in there yet? And then, no, I think we've still got truce with them for a little while. Yeah, for 9 weeks. Ah, okay. Oh, Papal Niger is starting to colonize in chat. There we go. So they'll take care of this area. Well, partially at least. There's not that much. Actually, are you... You're unrecognized power, but you're not decentralized. I suppose there's this Depesti that is something that we can colonize. There's also air, which... do they still control some other areas, or is that... Oh, there's Dreadnoughts research. What did we get in... Right, we did get the electric arc process already. So, Dreadnoughts, I suppose there's... There's one of these two, I guess. We'll wait for a little while to see which one of them start spreading. We can't build the Dreadnoughts yet because we don't have radio production, mind you. Ah, there's the machine guns finally. About time. So let's have a look at what do we need in production. Because we've got quite a bit of capacity available, I reckon. We need definitely oil. We need quite a bit of fine art as well. So let's take a look. I suppose we've got quite a bit of population available in here. We'll get 5 extra arts academies in Lazio. Maybe in Venetia we could get a few more as well. We'll start providing a lot more of the higher end stuff, I suppose. The innovation is still at its cap, but we might want to go ahead and get at least one more university, just in case. Because it's already 170, so it's been definitely growing. We've got 80.1 literary rate, so that's pretty decent. We've got 161 million GDP, so we did lose a few million in GDP there. With the peace ending, or wars and all that, giving up the colonies. We got a pretty good amount of coal. Let's see. Glass is something we could probably still build more. Let's actually go ahead and build a few glass works in Lazio. The ones that aren't going to be producing as much porcelain. Still some, but not as much. So there's a peasant revolt in Austria. So I'm guessing Austria is going to lose that one. It would have been nice to get maybe South Tyrol at some point. I mean, maybe... No, I don't know if we could even if we had a obligation on Austria. To be fair, maybe we should offer to join for an obligation, or, you know, for South Tyrol for some of the wars later on. I don't think they'll give it to us, to be fair, but there's always a chance. Right, so I don't suppose there's been any discoveries in here yet. I'm pretty sure that Papal Niger does have mostly the same text as we started, or have now, so... At least there's a good chance that they will start discovering things. But it might take a while. There's a bit of revolt over there. We've got quite a bit of infamy right now, so we'll probably let that drop a little bit further before we do any more conquest. But I suppose Borno is probably one of those that we'll probably conquer for our colony here sooner or later. And then maybe we can get to Bagirmi as well. And then, of course, maybe even up to Darfur. I don't know about that one, to be fair. That one probably wouldn't be going to a colony directly. Maybe that would open up a route to go to Egypt. Maybe take Sinai. Although, we still can't build this Suez Canal because we don't control it. Oh, actually, no, we might be able to build it if we take the state itself. Well, that could be useful. Maybe. But we are making a whole lot of money right now. Oh my goodness, the investment pool is also quite massive. Okay, let's go ahead and figure out where do we need to be building a lot. I mean, Lazio is something that we're building quite a bit in. I suppose, if we have a look at the various unemployed and all that, I suppose Venetia's got over 100,000. We've got over 300,000 in Lombardy. Let's go ahead and get another few construction sectors in there then. Sardinia is a bit low on population. Sicily is alright in peasant numbers still. Got quite a bit in Apulia. A few extra construction sectors there, so that's probably going to be once we get to those. Actually, what we could do is just go ahead and send these to the top of the list, so we'll have the construction speeding. It's not going to be all of them, but some of them to the top of the list, so we'll get the construction going even faster. And then infantry will need to drop it down a little bit, but hey, we got 16.1 standard of living, which we're number 12 worldwide. If we have a look at the ledger again, so GDP-wise, we are still 30 million behind Great Qing. Standard of living. Okay, Senegal, or British Senegal is above us. Cuba, Netherlands, French Republic, Australia, Sweden, Belgium, Uruguay, Switzerland, Sambas, and Schleswig. So other than French Republic and Belgium and Sweden, and I suppose Australia, well, okay, there's quite a few nations that are somewhat formidable, to some degree at least, but yeah, they've got a lot of standard of living, but only the French Republic is really ahead of us in actual GDP, though, of those options. But my goodness, that money is just massive right now. How much are we getting from the diplomatic packs? We're getting 83,000. Oh, wow. So pretty, not Papal. Yeah, Papal Niger, sorry, is giving us 21,000. Abyssinia is giving 44,000 per week. So they are definitely paying quite a bit for us. I could potentially give them a bit of a kickback and start bankrolling them. It's 30,000. So they'll, you know, they won't have to pay quite as much. We'll start giving some money to our colonies in here so they can afford increasing their economy further. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, but we can afford it. Oh, you're going to say declare a rivalry. Alright then, two can play that game. We do still have a little bit extra authority available, so we could... Actually, let's have a look at the outliners. There's the states. So Venetia is the second largest. That one's already got the education thing. Lazio does not have the education boost yet. We could probably give Lombardy the boost. The social mobility boost. Because we got the authority available, might as well. But we're not really trying to pass any laws right now. Oh, there we go. 610 construction speed already. It's pretty decent. So that's going to give us the arts academies hopefully fairly quickly. There's still a few more construction sectors that will be built. But right now, well, actually the investment pool is still 21 million. Almost 22. So it's quite substantial. Oh, and let mines expand to level 6. So yeah, 162 million GDP. So it did slow down the growth a little bit, losing or giving up some other areas. But it's alright. I'm guessing this one's fair. Well, okay, they got a little energy shortage there. It's got 15.2 standard of living in Niger Delta in here as well, so it's not too bad. Who else actually splits? Oh, right, so it's just the Dutch that have a part of that. Oh, the Dutch are part of the British market. They got alliance with Canada. And defensive pact with Lubeck and Belgium. Okay, Dutch East Indies. You know what, I'm not going to declare neutrality in here yet. If they offer me an obligation, I might take that, and then I might try to take some British land somewhere. I don't know where exactly yet, but maybe we'll get something. Actually, Constantine wouldn't be too bad, but I don't think they'd give that us. Ah, right, so this was the one that we had trade deals earlier, but that was right, because the revolution, that trade deal wasn't possible anymore. Ah, right, seems like the export and groceries to Great Qing is starting to be less of profitable. And I suppose we don't need to import as much, well, we weren't importing much of vehicles to begin with. The automobiles from the British market to begin with. Is there any... Let's have a look. Okay, that's an unproductive trade route. I guess we can cancel that one then. There is quite a bit import demand of clothing. Cool, we'll import some from the British market at least. Glass, there's still quite a bit of high demand, but there's not a huge amount of profitable trade routes available. Fine art, we could maybe import a tiny bit. We could just... Well, we are going to be increasing the production right now already, so it's not too bad. We could maybe export some sulfur. Let's export some to the French. Some to the British. Maybe some to the Austrians. Oh, and the psychoanalysis is completed. Right, so that would be in the society text. So that one's increasing the influence and progressive population cost multipliers -5%. So that will be kind of useful. The multilateral alliances wouldn't be too bad. Of course, the international exchange standards wouldn't be too bad either to get even more money. Elevators would allow us to get the arcades. The Zeppelins wouldn't be too bad. I'd say we've done fairly good thus far. I mean, I'm just gonna let the infamy drop a little bit before we do any more warfare in here. Bornu is probably gonna be the next target. And after that, well, people in Niger is gonna be quite large. I mean, they've all... Oh, actually, let's go ahead and improve relations with them. But yeah, we got they got 16 million GDP, actually. Pretty decent. They got 63% literate rate. They got about 6 billion population. We've got almost 81% literate rate already. Oh, standard of living is increasing a bit further, so we've got 16.2 total. Or average, rather, not total. And over 41 million population. We are number 4 in the Great Powers list still. And GDP is number 5. So there's still room for improvement in there, of course. But I'm expecting that once we get more and more of these glassworks, actually we could start building some more. We're building all of these buildings now. Let's see, what else do we need? More glass wouldn't hurt, more oil wouldn't hurt, but we don't really have option to build those ourselves. Automobiles, we could maybe switch some more of those. Let's actually have a look. With motor industries, there's a bit of mixture in here still. That one's providing some electric engines. Maybe Umbria could start providing some automobiles. It's going to cost us a lot in oil and rubber. And a bit less engines, but it's not going to be too bad. Maybe we can switch that to electric engines as well. That's in Umbria. Let's have a look. That's probably going to have a bit of an issue on the electricity then. They could increase the production a little bit already, but we'll build another 2 in there, for example. Although, is there, there's a bit of lack of workers in here, actually. Anything that I could do in the iron mines to reduce that? Not really, no. Although the logging camps. Actually, the logging camps, we can do something about it. Reduce the workforce needed in there, and I suppose we could also go ahead and, well, actually not going to do that quite yet, but we can switch the railways to electric railways, I think. Currently on steam trains. If we go for electric trains, that might help. Still got 171 innovation camp. But that is, again, slowly growing. Actually, we're getting, oh yeah, we are getting quite a bit of max innovation cap from the literary. I mean, the base is 50, and after that, everything is just dependent on the literary rate. The GDP, we are going to be hitting probably 170 million soon. Oh, and we just completed a lot of construction. Okay, so Umbria, I think what we're going to do, we'll hopefully help a little bit this with the extra power plants. I mean, that's a bit high on the price there. Oh yeah, we did over 200 extra. Right, we'll probably need to build quite a few of these then. Might be a bit of an overkill. It's better to be a bit of an overkill than not have enough. We'll put in the tractors there to reduce the workers needed at the farm. The vineyards we could probably put in rail transportation. And the livestock ranches, I suppose there's not much I could do about in here. But the cotton plantation, we can also put the rail transportation. Reduce a few more labourers. That can then be put into faction work or whatever. Plus, I suppose there's a good chance that this will start having a bit of a pull for workers to move in here. Yeah, there's a little bit of migration happening. Right, so Denmark's having revolution after revolution. They're not really in a strong place, are they? We're almost back to 169 million GDP. We're almost at 81% literate rate and, oh, 16.3 standard of living now. So it's slowly on the rise again. We are number 10 once again, actually. Just about. We've surpassed Senegal. Netherlands is 16.6, so there's a bit of distance to that one. And after that, catching up with the French is going to be a bit of a problem as well. We might want to go ahead and, actually, we go ahead and build some more government administration. Let's get another 5 over there, for example. It will cost us a little bit, but it will give us a lot of bureaucracy, which we can then use to increase the, especially the workplace safety office. Reduce the mortality rates and all that, which would be quite useful, actually. How is our colony increasing in here? Oh, it is increasing rather quickly. Oh, because this, right, it's just malaria, it's not severe malaria, so we can do that rather, yeah, rather fast. Well, I'm glad with that, to be fair. So if we wanted to, we could do probably, well, actually, yeah, if we can get Tripolitania to join the war, then Wadai would be quite easy to conquer, but I think Bornu is probably going to be the easy option. We're going to let the infamy drop a little bit further down before we do that, though. So we're getting a pretty good chunk of Africa in the process. Congo was a bit limited in size. I really should not have made the colony that early, but it's alright. It is what it is. There we go. We're improving relations with Papal Niger, so it's going up quite quickly, actually. 7% per day. So every, like, 14 days or something like that. We get, or 14 or 15 days, depending on the situation, we'll get an extra point of relations with them. So yeah, that's going up fairly quickly then. I don't suppose we have a huge lack of power right now. Okay, Lazio seems to be fine, at least with power. Do we have the explosive factory? We could put in the brine electrolysis in there. It'll take a little bit more electricity, but it will make the explosives a bit cheaper, thus making the mining operation slightly easier. Not that there's any mining in there directly, but that's alright. Power plant is now fully employed. Alright then. That'll be rather good. So did we... what was it? Oh, right. It is the multilateral alliances that is spreading. And then it's after the electric arc process. I don't know which one it's going to be. I'm hoping for the plastics, steam turbine, telephone. That's probably the ones that I'm hoping for. It's probably going to be conveyors or pasteurization, to be fair. But my luck. But we'll see in a few moments. So there's the electric arc process. So we can start using electricity at the steel mills. Although I don't know, a lot of the places might not have enough electricity, quite frankly, to do that yet. Which is why I'm kind of hoping for the steam turbine to be the one spreading. No, it's nitrogen fixation. I mean, I suppose more food is not necessarily bad. But it's not what I was hoping for, I'll be honest. I suppose defense and debt is going to be the next one regardless. So we can queue that one up already. And then we can go for the society ticks and start guessing what's going to be spreading in there. Right, so... oh, the other side of the fence. People have been complaining about the difference in living standards between us and our neighbours in Switzerland. It's simply an example of global economic inequality. Trade unions would get more power and approval rating. Clearly, they're liars who cheat foreigners out of money. Relations go down. Or it is the way things are. Not worth thinking about. Ops and Piedmont become more radical. I guess... oh, trade unions... I suppose if we get +2 with the trade unions, we might get some... bonus from them. I mean, what's that? That manufacturing industry throughput would be increased once we get to 5, which we haven't quite gotten to yet. There's a whole lot of mines that are expanding, and steel mills apparently. Right, so let's actually have a look at the... actually, we'll probably want to do it through here. So local goods. Places where the electricity price isn't too bad, like Romagna, maybe Emilia, and Lombardy. So if there's a steel mill, you were to switch this one. Oh, that's going to be a whole lot of electricity. That's also going to be quite a bit of steel that we can produce. A bit more iron required, but that's a lot of steel produced. So yeah, we'll go ahead and upgrade that one. We could upgrade this one as well. And Venetia's got quite a bit as well. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. There we go. Now, oh yeah, we've got 171 million GDP now. There we go. It's definitely on the rise. I'm guessing if we have a look at the market now, steel price, yeah, we got actually a little bit extra steel. Not much, mind you, but we do have a little bit. We do need also quite a bit of coal. We've got a huge shortage of it. So let's just go ahead and probably... oh, that's already maxed out. Oh. Do we have any more coal mines to build? No, I don't. Right, well... oh, okay, that colony is completed. Is there coal mines down here somewhere? In... oh, there's coal mines up here in Outer Houseland, and... okay, not in Houseland. I hope he doesn't have any coal mines, and over here we don't have any coal mines. What about in Congo? There's room for some coal mines there, but they don't have a lot of population. And there's an iron mine over there. There's no coal in Ethiopia, unfortunately. So that does limit things. I suppose there might be a little bit in... oh, there's no coal there. None in Tunisia. Or Algiers. Morocco, could we invite you into the market by chance? Not really. Yeah, I mean, we've got quite a bit of infamy, so that's causing a bit of a penalty in there. And we seem to have some ideological differences. Well, in that case, what we could do is we go for something like, let's see, the steel mill. We can go for hand assembly in there. Reduce the coal a bit, and reduce the tools a bit, increase the employment a little bit further as well. Not necessarily everywhere, but we can do a few of these. Maybe the arms industry as well. Go for hand assembly there. Oh, Hijaz is having another revolution. No surprises there. So Great Qing is still quite massive. They haven't lost the territory at all, I don't think. At least if they've lost it, they've managed to retake it. Ooh, Russia sides with Egypt. Oh, alright then. We've still got 16.3 standard of living, so we're still number 10 worldwide. We haven't really gained much more ground there since that, though. We've got 174 million GDP. So that's definitely on the rise, at least. Oh, and we're getting a whole lot more bureaucracy. Well, we did start building quite a bit of that. We can't really increase the automobile production too much, because the oil price is going to start increasing too much. Or beyond our means. Engines, on the other hand, maybe if we go ahead and increase... Oh, we've got a problem over here with infrastructure. Now, to be fair, we did not switch to the electric trains yet, so we can do that now. That's going to give us a bit more infrastructure to work with in Umbria. Although, it's not much more, mind you. I suppose it's not having an issue anymore, so I guess that's fine. We'll go ahead and give it another level just in case. And then if we have a look at something like Venetia, yeah, that's fine in infrastructure-wise. They still got okay amount of electricity available. We did start using that on the steel mills. Did we? We are using that on railways, are we? Yes, we are. Did we have motor industries in here? We do not. The fertilizer plant, we haven't gotten the last fertilizer level yet. We've got some synthetics plants in here. We don't really need the rayons, though, for the silk, do we? Not really, no. We need the dyes more than we need the silk, because we could grow silk already in our country. And it's going to be a lot more effective than using the synthetic industries. I suppose the explosive factory could start using a bit of electricity. Will cause a bit more pollution, mind you, but that's just the wheels of progress turning. I guess what we could always do is just build some more art academies, at least. Oh, look at the earnings. Umbria seems to be a fairly good one. How's the... Not a lot of peasants are unemployed there, so maybe not there. Sicily would be slightly better. Venetia's got quite a bit of peasants still, so we can build a few more levels there. Piedmont's got a lot, so we can go ahead and build a few levels there. And Lazia's got a lot of peasants as well. We can build another 5 levels there. So we'll be probably the #1 producer of... actually, what are we leading producer of? We're #1 in sulfur. We're #2 in porcelain, meat, wood. And then #3 in explosives, automobiles, luxury clothing, electricity, coal, iron, lead, fertilizers, groceries, paper, liquor, and fish. So I'd say we got a fairly solid industry. It could be better, mind you, but it's definitely not the worst. And if we do have a look at the ledger in terms of prestige, we have got quite a lead on Russia now. USA still got quite a bit of prestige. But GDP-wise, we are actually not that far from Great Qing. About 25 million or so. Then, of course, to catch up with British Raj, that's going to be another 100 million or 90 million and a bit more right now. But yeah, we'll probably need at least 100 million before we could catch up with them. Which is probably not going to happen, at least not initially. Although we have increased the amount of construction that we do. The investment pool is not growing too much right now. So I think we are in a fairly good equilibrium in terms of the construction, at least. So automatic machine guns will be done in 3 to 5 months. The Homie Uprising. Am I not in that... I'm not in that warrior. I think we're going to support them regardless. And take the leadership of that combat. We'll go ahead and send in a big, like, small army in here. Mobilize. Move to the front line. And then clear out this, because I can't afford having colonies like this have issues. I'll go ahead and save them. I mean, honestly, since the enemy has basically no armies anyway, it should be one of the easiest wars that we've had to fight this playthrough. I mean, it's not necessarily the easiest. It's definitely fairly easy. I should actually probably just go ahead and disband the Papal African army. It's not really needed anymore. I got the 3... Oh. No, I'm not going to give you an obligation. I don't actually need help in this war. As soon as my troops arrive in there, it's going to be quite obvious who's going to be winning this war. And honestly, they'll have a few battalions, but that's about it. You won't save them. And I don't think anyone has the guts to actually go on the uprising side of things either. It makes sense, admittedly. So does that mean... Okay, no, it's just the people in Niger that is part of the war in here. But essentially, we just took leadership of the war. We didn't call in our own dominions. Speaking of which, Oyo is a dominion right now, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. What about Benin? Could we turn them into Dominion? Not right now, no. Once we deal with this war, maybe. And then that way we'd have these Dominions nicely in there. We could potentially even start reducing the autonomy with them. Oh, right, that's the reduce autonomy is the thing that we need to do. But yeah, we could reduce the autonomy, maybe even annex them and then give them to the Niger Delta later on. Now everyone's declaring neutrality already. And we are 180 million GDP. Now I suppose the armies being active does increase the armaments production. And thus it does have an impact on the GDP. Oh, the automated machine guns is almost done. That would be nice to have. Although probably not something we need for this particular conflict. Especially since we're just going to be advancing in here with 60 battalions versus 3. No, this is not a war, this is a massacre. And not in a good way. But at least that does mean that the peace will be achieved soon. Here we go. That's the first battle done. The second one's going to be starting very shortly. They have maybe a few hundred men in the army. We'll start with 550. So yeah, that's going to be very rapidly dealt with. There's one more battle, I reckon. Oh, and there's automatic machine guns done. Let's go ahead and queue that up. I'll put that on the support equipment. We're going to afford taking the organization penalty. It'll be fine. We'll still win this combat, no doubt. Ooh, defense in depth. Right, didn't we all requeue that one up? We did. Okay, good. So the multilateral alliances will be done soon. That's going to allow us to have multiple alliances, which wouldn't be too shabby. There we go. We've dealt with this fight in here. So this war will be... Well, it's going to take a while before they surrender. But at least we basically won the... Well, we have won the war already. It's just a formality that we need to wait for them to actually give up. I'm building a whole lot of arts academies right now that... Standard of living has been very, very slowly climbing upwards. I mean, it's not really all that quick, mind you. And we're back to 12 worldwide, actually. So it does leave a bit more room for improvement in there, I suppose. But it's better than nothing. We do have a little bit convoys available. Actually, convoys might be something we'll want to increase a bit further. Go ahead and get a few more ports in our capital. Venezia is actually running a bit low on extra workforce right now. We'll go for Piedmont, we'll build a few more in there. That'll give us 10 more ports. I'm guessing the war will be... Oh, right. Oh. Okay, they won't take the Bastille yet. Really, we will soon enough. Just a few more weeks and then it will be over. We could probably go ahead and demobilize this army. Not really need it anymore to be active. So we're making a whole lot more money again. We've got 19 million in cash reserves, or gold reserves, so that's pretty respectable. There's about 10%, or close to 10% of our GDP. And there we go. The war is over. Now, better keep control of your areas there. Papal Niger. Can't afford that sort of wars constantly. That does remind me, though. How is it looking on Benin? Would they become a... Or would they accept the reducing autonomy? They will. So they will become a Dominion as well, I suppose. Guess we got truce with... Yeah, we got truce with Oyo still for another 31 months. We can't reduce autonomy there. We could maybe try doing it in, like... I mean, what would it actually do with Tunisia? Into a puppet. So that would be 30%. They are forced to join Overlord's wars, must also pay, yeah, 30% of the treasury each week. Cannot match or exceed the Overlords, and Overlord may target them with annexation diplomatic play. Ah, okay, so we could potentially annex them if we want to. I'm not going to go that far. I think Dominions are going to be fine. They share the color. That'll be good enough. There's also quite a bit of infamy as well, so we don't want to increase that too much. But with that, we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.